The Tokyo Disney Ambassador Hotel has different character themed rooms, and today I'm giving you a tour of a Lilo and Stitch themed room. You can tell right away it's going to be Stitch themed because there's a giant paw print on the door. As soon as you open the door, you are greeted by artwork of Stitch and Angel in romantic Hawaii. And you might not notice at first, but if you take a closer look, there is Stitch all over the wallpaper. It's such a subtle detail, but once you spot it, you can't stop looking. You do need to book the character room you want, and I also have a room tour for a Donald Duck room here on the channel. But let's take a closer look at the Lilo and Stitch room. There are two small beds, and they're basically twin beds. They're very small, but one headboard has Stitch and one headboard has Lilo. Next to the bed, you'll also spot a map of Lilo and Stitch's island in Hawaii. It's one of the coolest details in the room. I had to spend a lot of time looking at it. It's got all of the characters all around it, but you'll also find some of the most iconic locations labeled here. We've got where Lilo adopted Stitch. There's where Stitch's ship crashed. We have the area where Jumba and Pleakley landed, right next to where Lilo and Nani live. There's a table and chairs, and if you look closely at the pillow, there's the alphabet from Lilo and Stitch. So I'm pretty sure this is the alien alphabet here. A lot of the details in the room are really subtle, which is nice. If you've seen any of my room tours from the Tokyo Disneyland Hotel character rooms, they can be really, really loud, which I like, but I know not everyone is a big fan of that. So this is kind of the way you get all of the character touches, but a little more subtle. And I don't know why this room just gives me some sort of like Hawaii motel room vibes. I think it's supposed to be that way. And there's even more artwork of Lilo and Stitch on the walls, just some cute Hawaii posters with Lilo and Stitch, and then Lilo and Stitch and the whole gang. And as I mentioned earlier, there's Stitch all throughout the wallpaper here. There's Stitch with Scrump, and Stitch reading the book to the ducks, and Stitch doing the hula and with a coconut. It's really nice. I like the wallpaper. One of my favorite details that you don't want to miss is in the bed runners. There are all these different designs that if you look a little closer, you'll spot all the different characters. So we've got Stitch with guitars, we've got Lilo doing the hula, we have Pudge the fish with a peanut butter sandwich, there's Scrump with some pineapples, and I think this is supposed to be the spaceship. It's really nice, and when you look closely and you see all the details, the room really does scream Stitch. The brightest colors in the room have to be the carpet, though. And I don't think that's a bad thing. When you look at the carpet, you'll see there's all sorts of leaves and guitars, but the main thing is it's covered in Stitch's paw prints. How cool is that? And of course, you have pajamas to wear during your stay. These are blue. The room also has a mini fridge, which is really great if you stop at one of the convenience stores or even if you go to Ikspiari and grab something there. We also have an ice bucket and a kettle. Sometimes I recommend people bring like instant oatmeal or their own coffee and tea and creamers. And of course, we have small eco bags here Another tip I like to give is take these small bags with you when you're going to the parks or the stores because you do have to buy plastic bags when you're shopping. If you take your little eco bag, you'll always have a bag with you. The vanity is also really nice here. I think the mirror kind of gives me like a flower lay vibe. And then the seat also has the same alien alphabet that was on the pillows. The bathroom has to be my favorite thing. But first, I'm going to point out there's a closet over here. The setup of this room is a little interesting, but don't miss the closet because they have slippers. All of the Tokyo Disney hotels have slippers you can take home with you. They're little souvenirs, and there are different ones at each hotel. So now I have the ones from Ambassador. These are the adults, and the little blue ones are the child sizes. You can't take the pajamas home with you, but you can take the slippers home with you. All right, now back to the bathroom. And there is a sliding door here so you can close off the entire bathroom, or there are two separate doors. One door has the toilet behind it, and one has the shower and bathtub. And if you notice on the mirror, there is Stitch. I love the doors. This door has Lilo underwater, and she's swimming with Pudge the fish. And I love that Pudge is getting so much representation in this room. Behind this door, you'll find the toilet. And if you look closely at the wallpaper, you'll also see there are some hidden stitches. The hotel also includes many amenities. First, let's look at the cups. These are plastic cups that you can take home with you, and one side has Mickey as the director, and on the back there's Minnie flying a plane, and you get three of these. There's Stitch in the mirror. And because this is a Stitch room, we have Stitch amenities bags. These are small little zipper bags that we get to keep. And one side says Ambassador Hotel with Stitch paw prints, and then the other has Stitch's silhouette. And inside, you'll just find cotton and Q-tips and a hair tie, but the bag is really nice. You also get toothbrushes. These are in adult and children's sizes. So there's one box that has a bigger one, and then there are the other boxes that have the smaller ones. Same design on both boxes. And I love that the soap is pink. Be sure to check the drawers. You never know what you might find. Here we have a hairbrush, and there's also some different skincare product. Very nice. Now let's look at the other door. Of course, we had a Lilo door, so here is the Stitch door. And Stitch is just playing the guitar. You can see all the little music notes. I love the designs of the doors at the Tokyo Disney hotels. They're always so creative. And behind Stitch, you will find the bathtub and the shower. And this is one of those little handheld showers. I always say it in every video. If you want to stand in the bathtub, your floor will stay a lot drier. So just shower in the bathtub. I love the shampoo and conditioner here. Now let's take one final look at the Stitch in the mirror. I wish I could take the mirror home with me. I had so much fun staying at this Lilo and Stitch themed room, but I was really impressed by the Ambassador Hotel. It's got a great location, and it also has Chef Mickey's. the Hyperion Lounge, the Tock Diner, and the convenience store. And if you're staying here, you have a special privilege of being able to order character bread. This is something that needs to be booked in advance and is only for guests staying at the Ambassador Hotel. The location is amazing and it's just right next to Ikspiari, super convenient, but you can also take a bus to both of the parks. I highly recommend the Ambassador Hotel, even if you're not staying in a Stitch room, and be sure to check out my Tokyo Disney playlist for more.